I think we're live. We live, everyone. Yes, we are. Hold on, I gotta enable the audio thing. Say something.
Hello.
It works.
Oy vey.
What is up, everybody? It's me, Real American, back into the new stream, and that is right. We are live on this beautiful, what is it, February 19th, 2025. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm having a great day myself, and we are joined by Mr. Real Texas Politics and, MAGA Mao, aka Luke.
What's good, Patriots? Real American and real Chinese patriots alike. What's poppin'?
Oh gosh. So yeah, for those that are wondering, I was sick yesterday. That's why we did not go live, but you can check and think, was the testers done at a stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. It was a wonderful stream. We did a lot. We cooked. We beat Dem turnout crash, Dane County, and lower turnout than Kenosha. Love to fucking see it.
Yep,
That's
alright.
yeah.
Now, before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. These are all great ways to support the daily content, and if you have any questions, concerns, comments, or just want to support the channel even further, best way is sending super chats via the chat. Again, I read through as much chat as possible, and already we got a couple super chats. Blind Boy Gaming for 10. I create a playlist of each type of your past streams. If fans want to enjoy past live streams in one place, they know where to look. We've got election night's prediction, reactions, and others. Oh, nice. All right, thanks for the super chat and thanks for the playlist. That's interesting. So, if you want to see old streams and stuff, go check that out. Lord Rhino for 2. Peter Griffin. Okay. A glitch Eevee for 2. It's time for Chinese propaganda rap. That's real. That is real. All right.
Social
Yeah, speaking of,
score, Benji Duck.
by the way, speaking of Chinese propaganda, the Chinese are literally advertising corn on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see it, but like I saw that people were complaining about that.
I've seen enough of it, and like I go to report the ads, and the advertisers are all from China.
All right, crick mode for 2 is 69.
America, because porn's banned in China. So
All right. Crick mode for 2, 69% tariffs on all Wisconsin goods because rap was late. Thank you. But all right, so let's talk what happened in Wisconsin last night because there was a primary for the superintendent race, and I'm not gonna really look at the top line results because that's not really important. Well, what is important is turnout, and turnout sucked. Turnout was awful last night. I mean, what was it statewide? Like 12% or something, if that.
like that, Madison, which usually has the highest turnout, only had 18% turnout.
Yeah. And
It
this
got
is a
beaten
big
by
deal.
Kenosha, which had its own school board race.
Yeah. So Kenosha actually outvoted Dane percentage-wise, which I don't think anyone was expecting. I think Milwaukee got outvoted by Washington, Waukesha, Ozaki, La Crosse even. So, like, I'm not gonna really pull up the results because it's not really that's not what's important. What is important is the turnout, and turnout was awful. Let's be honest here. This was effectively a Democrat primary. That's what it was. It was 3 Democrats. Well, 2 partisan Dems and 1 that was actually moderate, but still. Right? Is that what it was? Right? It was 2.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I gotta go in and get some food.
All right. But yeah, so that's what happened in Wisconsin. You had 2 partisan Dems and the more moderate Dem. And I believe the incumbent, did she even crack 40%? I don't think she did. Let me pull this
I
up.
think it was like in the 30s.
Yeah, she only got 38%. Wow. She only got 38%. Oh, she's in trouble. She's in trouble. A glitch Eevee for 5. We need to shut down airplanes until we can figure out what the hell is going on. Yeah, another one crashed in Arizona, I think.
Well, the thing is that they all get reported in waves.
Well, yeah.
So,
But still, it's like, there's the one in, Canada they try to blame on Trump, which is ridiculous, but... Anyway, so yeah, this was results last night. Again, I'm not really looking at any county results because it's a very bizarre race, but turnout sucked. It sucked. I mean, 400,000 votes, that's it. That's a total turnout. That's pathetic.
yeah, pretty sure Milwaukee County had like that exact amount of votes in 2024.
I can check, actually. Um, no, they had more. Actually, actually about the same. You're right, actually. Right? Yeah. Yeah, they had basically had the same amount of votes. Milwaukee, a single county, had more votes statewide. Oh my gosh. So, yeah. I think Democrats are screwed. And we'll wait for Luke to get back because he knows a bit more about this, but
Also, Underly doing well in the Bow counties is kind of interesting.
I I don't know why. I'm guessing that's turnout. Yeah. So what I think happened was Jeff Wright, he was the other Democrat that ran. Well, again, all three are Democrats, but Kinzer's just she's a Democrat in name only. But Jeff Wright, what I know happened was his campaign had a last ditch effort to convince Trump voters to vote for him. Like they're saying, "Oh, I'm
Oh,
gonna be
he's the union candidate.
yeah." He was the union candidate trying to get Trump voters to vote for him. That's what happened. And you can see, like, he did pretty good at places like Iowa County, Richland. I think he's from this area for the Driftless. So that does help.
He's from Sauk County.
Yeah, so he's from the Driftless. So that explains a lot, but he did pretty
That's why
good
he
in...
actually got a majority in Sauk.
Yeah. So he definitely won a huge chunk of Trump voters. And that's why I think Democrats should be worried about this. Because even with a low turnout, Jeff Wright won a chunk of Trump voters that are going to probably vote for Kinzer, more than likely.
Looks
And
like Underly actually got a majority in Dane.
Did she get a majority? Yes, she did barely.
Exactly 50.
Oh my, she did awful. Oh my gosh, she did good at Douglas, so that's weird. I guess no, that's about right. But no, so yeah, she didn't even get a majority in Milwaukee, not even Menominee. Wow. Milwaukee 47, Dorr 47, Brown 44. Yeah, so I don't
she
think
got a majority in Douglas.
Oh yeah, a small majority. Yeah.
And Eau Claire.
That's not good. That is not good for her. Who will the teachers union endorse in the runoff? I'm thinking Underly because Kinzer's more pro school choice. Oh yeah, it's gonna be Underly.
Underly, yeah.
Yeah.
Underly will probably win the general.
Oh, she probably will, but the big thing is this has been a Democrat position for like 50 years. So,
well, that's the thing. I mean, school choice I don't think is really that popular in Wisconsin.
Well, the problem is like you have Democrats running against Democrats. That's the big reason, an issue. So it's just a Democrat primary. But it might be different because we got a Supreme Court election. So the teachers union is gonna back Underly. She's the incumbent, but she did awful. I mean, she only got 38%. That's pathetic. That is freaking pathetic. And you're the incumbent. You should be getting way more than just 38%. I mean, she barely cracked 50 in Dane. So, yeah, that's not good. Not good for Democrats here, but like Luke was saying, this was more so the turnout. That's what's important. And I think Brad Schill's a favorite right now. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but this was such shit turnout in Milwaukee and Madison, which this should be the race they have a lot of turnout in. Again, I still think it's be close, but I think Brad Schill's going to win. Real Tex, what's your thoughts on that? Because I know you've been kind of hesitant on the race.
I mean, I'm still hedging my bets. I still think it's probably Tilt Crawford, but that's just a turnout thing.
I don't know. I mean, like, now we got Musk. Apparently, when you factor in... What?
I mean, with Elon Musk, I mean, that actually might be enough to convince the base.
Well, no, now we're outspending Crawford now. Somebody did the math on it. We're outspending them, like, I think by a couple $1,000s. But yeah, so we're actually outspending them in Wisconsin. And that's before Elon Musk really gets involved. That's
Elon Musk, I think, is going to be the one that gets the base out.
Yeah. Because he's going to spend a shitload of money on this race. Well, not 50 million or whatever, but probably like 5 million, I'm guessing. Which, if that's the case, it's more than enough. Thoughts of Musk and co outspending the Democrats in the Supreme Court. That's why I'm confident. We're outspending them. The polling looks pretty good for us. And now the primary, which I know the Supreme Court did not have the primary because, you know, there's only 2 candidates. But I'm liking our chances here. I am very much liking our chances in Wisconsin right now. A lot could change, but if Schimmel runs a good campaign, he's got it. Which he has been. So. Breaking... Oh, hold up. Hold up. What's this about Andrew Cuomo?
Apparently he's running for mayor, or he's going to announce at the end of the month.
Let's see here. Andrew Cuomo. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Excuse me.
And also, New York City congestion pricing is dead.
Wait, really?
Trump has killed it.
Can you send that?
Yeah.
He actually killed it. Does Crawford have source money? Yes, she does. She has source money. But that's not. I mean, you're talking about freaking sources worth $1 billion, and Elon Musk worth what, 400 billion now, 500 billion. Yeah, what's his net worth?
Soros?
No, Musk.
At like $500 billion or something.
Yeah, so he can outspend anybody. Yeah, so guys, let's confirm that the U.S. Department of Transportation confirms termination of New York congestion pricing program. I don't get why Democrats thought this was a good idea.
Elon Musk's net worth is $397 billion.
Yeah, so 400 billion. It goes up every day. So, but yes,
I mean, I think he's said to be the world's first trillionaire.
he's going to be. I think it's gonna be after the Mars stuff when they go back to the moon and Mars. That's what I'm guessing. He's gonna be worth $1 trillion. But yeah, so Department of Transportation confirms termination of the congestion pricing. I still don't get what the point of this was.
It was to appeal to the YIMBYs.
But
the YIMBYs wanted they wanted their walkable cities, so.
But this has pissed everybody off. No one's happy by this.
They want the YIMBYs. They want their walkable cities. They want to force everybody to use They want to force everybody to use the crummy subway system.
Yeah, get stabbed.
Oh yeah, congestion pricing.
Yeah, just got whacked a little bit ago.
Massive W. We love to see it.
All right.
The YIMBYs can take the L.
American Nerd.
Shut up, walkable city, dumbasses.
Again, I'm like the concept is not a bad idea, but it's just the way these idiots want to implement it. It's stupid.
I just hate walkable cities. I'm a simple guy.
I like driving. 500 feet to the nearest
gas. Unlike Yay, I'm driving sober. So.
Oh gosh, American Nerd for 5. Rap, thoughts on what's happening with Trump and rejected Lindsey Graham's budget proposal in favor of the House's proposal? Good. Lindsey Graham's is garbage. So, I'm glad Trump is finally saying no to these people. Which, by the way, so much for that theory that, Lindsey Graham was going to control Trump. Remember that? He was going to control everything. Yeah, I don't think that's working too well for them.
Yeah, the Green Frog people are taking a lot of L's recently.
All right, to fund the MTA, supposedly, and they even begged for cash even when congestion pricing was in effect. Yeah, so they funded a shitty program that needed money. Okay. Great. All right. To fund the MTA. Okay. So yeah.
You were funding a shitty program.
What?
I'm kidding.
What?
I was kidding. I said you were funding a shitty program, but I said I was kidding.
What are we talking about? All right. Kelly Loeffler was just confirmed. Oh, Kelly Loeffler was confirmed. What was she doing?
Yeah, what is she doing again?
I think it's small business, right? Can someone look that up? I thought it's small business.
I think she's small. I think, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Small business.
Okay, so why did that take so long? That seems like a random position. That should be confirmed like day one.
I don't know.
How many Dems voted against her? Because I know a lot of Dems just started voting against every nominee.
Oh, probably all of them. Probably all of them.
Yeah, I think all of them are going to be doing it out of protest.
Freaking
that could be trouble for Lori.
Ambassadors are going to get screwed.
What?
Have they appointed any ambassadors yet?
I don't think so. They might have. All right. When is Stefanik's confirmation date? I don't know. I'm guessing sometime later this year. Because they're waiting for Hochul's trying to pull shit in New York, but we'll see.
Well, the Republicans struck down their proposal to
yeah, I saw that, but they're still going to try anyways.
November.
I mean, remember, Kathy Hochul thought she could appoint somebody. Remember that? She's going to try again.
Oh, yeah. Now she'll probably try to delay it until like November.
Yeah, she'll try.
Next year.
Oh, wait, what?
What?
Wait, what's going on? What's going to be delayed?
A special election in New York.
Yeah, because
Wait.
because of Stefanik.
Oh yeah.
Well, and they're trying to delay it for like a whole year or something. So it's just shitty what they're doing. I mean, like, come on.
Oh yeah, and Holco also wants to get rid of Eric Adams. No.
Well, listen, if they actually get rid of him, not for the corruption, but for enforcing immigration law, go right ahead. You know what? Why don't they do that? What's the worst
Yeah,
that
she
happened?
had a whole meeting with Al Sharpton about it.
Wait, what?
She had a meeting with Al Sharpton
Why?
about getting rid of Eric Adams.
Who cares what Al Sharpton thinks?
Yeah,
Why?
it's so funny. They're ranting about Elon influencing Trump and he wasn't elected. Who elected Al Sharpton to anything?
No, it's Reverend Al Sharpton. Remember?
Well,
it's
then
Reverend.
why don't they elect
Oh.
Reverend Al Sharpton to be mayor of New York?
Because they don't want to. I don't know.
I don't recall ever voting for or against Al Sharpton, so why is he making policy?
I don't know.
Well, you're racist if you criticize Al Sharpton because he's a civil rights leader. Or something. I don't know.
Let's see here. People are saying, hold up. I gotta confirm this is real. Something with Casey DeSantis. Which we gotta talk about it. You know what? So, people are claiming that Casey DeSantis is not running. But, listen, can we just talk about how deranged some of these people are?
It is
Oh yeah, Laura Trump is a Nepo baby. Oh my God, we need to run Casey DeSantis for governor because she's not Muga.
Yes, okay. So now you have this bozo cryptid politics. He's one of the original DeSimps, right? This guy's not very smart. But point is, he's a strategist. He claims to be a strategist. Who freaking knows? But either way, this
He's
bozo...
not a strategist.
I know. He claims to be, though. It's funny. But
I'm not
anyways,
against Nepo babies. I'm just against Blumph Nepo babies.
so this asshole is saying he says, I fail to see what qualifies Byron Donalds to be governor of Florida. Meanwhile, these same bozos want Casey DeSantis to run. Why?
Mind you, he criticized Laura Trump for being a Nepo baby when it was rumored that she would be going for Senate.
Yeah. I mean, these people are dumb. General Hydra for 5. Have you guys watched J.D. Vance speech in Germany or heard the aftermath of it? He called them hypocrites for so-called defending democracy. Yeah, I saw that. We all did, I think.
Democracy dies.
Alright, Chanted Drazik for 5. You guys see that stupid tweet from Dave Hale? I've never seen someone simp so hard for losers in my life. Probably funded by USAID. Who's Dave Hale?
Oh, he's one of the Kamala Harris Republicans.
Oh, that's right.
Is he like the Kyle Sweets?
Oh,
Sweets
yeah,
and-
the country for... Yeah, this bozo.
Oh yeah, what about the Principles First Summit? Are we going to that?
We should.
We need a Principles First live stream, like you stream the Christie town halls.
Oh
Because
my...
Christie's gonna be at that. You should stream when Christie's doing that
For those
event
that...
there.
I know the stream's been kind of, like, chaotic, but for those that don't know, there's like shitty summit for like the Adam Kinzinger, Chris Christie. I think Mark Cuban is headlining it actually.
Imagine Turning Point, but for like neocons and neoliberals.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Mark Cuban is their freaking their poor man's version of Musk. I mean, that's so pathetic.
No, we should stream when Adam Kinzinger announces his party switch.
Yeah, oh gosh, that's gonna be like, oh my goodness, this is proof of the MAGA Republicans dying.
I didn't leave the Republican Party. The Republican Party left me.
I love how all people bought into like further conspiracies too, like Joe Walsh, Adam Kinzinger, and now they're like allies of the devil.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, did they all buy into that stuff?
Yeah, Joe Walsh. There's literally tweets of him talking about the further still up.
What a scumbag. I mean, that guy's a political opportunist. That's all he is. Tony Vatila stand for 2. An angel gets his wins whenever raps his bozo. That's real. But okay.
I'm a bozo.
For real, though, you know, these people say that... Okay, back to the subject of, like, Donalds. They say he's not qualified. But my question is this. How is he not? He's been the state legislator for 4 years. He's in Congress for 6 years. He's respected in the Republican conference. Most people like him. Yet he's not qualified?
Because he's a Nepo baby of Trump.
How? He's been in Congress for 6 years.
I think Donald would be a
Because
good
Trump.
governor. I kind of want Casey DeSantis to like stay on so that DeSantis can like cement himself as the new George Wallace.
Oh,
I want to
gosh.
see. Minus the racism. No, just as in like he's embodied the culture of a region of the country, you know?
Like
And
Ma and Pa Ferguson in Texas.
But yeah, so this bozo, he is claiming that Byron Donalds not qualified, but Casey DeSantis is. But you know what? There's actually another tweet, because I saw this earlier today, and when I saw this, this perfectly embodies what's wrong with The Sims. All right? This is a real tweet, by the way. All right? I'm gonna read this on stream. You know what? So, chat. Why do you guys think these people think Casey DeSantis is qualified? Well, why do you think
Because she's the wife of DeSantis.
Well, no. So, let me pull this up here.
Because she's a mom.
You're right.
is her mom are the moms on a mission coming back in 26?
Yep, that's what's
The
gonna
mom on a
happen.
For
So,
people who don't remember 2022, there were a shit ton of conservative female candidates who called themselves Mom on a Mission. Rebecca Clayfish, Jane Timken, who else?
Tudor Dixon.
Tudor Dixon, they were all Mom on a Mission candidates.
Yeah, so let's read this here. This is a real tweet, of course, from a Florida account. So, not sure if Casey DeSantis will run for governor, but people keep questioning a mom of 3 kids being able to accomplish the task. Here's what I know. My mom was a nurse who worked 12-hour shifts. Who cares? So basically, I'm not going to read the rest of this. This is stupid. I can already
Blah, blah, blah. Mom on a mission. Casey
It
DeSantis.
doesn't matter. We all know that if Casey DeSantis wins, Ron DeSantis is still going to be running everything. Just run like that. Run like I'll be the 3rd term of Ron, and Ron's popular enough in Florida. That would get more votes than trying to push her as like some mom on a mission candidate. Like no one gives a shit.
Having said that, I believe Casey DeSantis would and could do a remarkable job as governor, because I've seen the things she's done as a first lady, and I've seen a portion of how she's been supporting wife. She's been a supporting wife while also showcasing her skills as a mother. What?
Unlike MAGA fascist Byron Donalds.
Byron Donalds has 3 kids.
Not qualified. All he's done is been in Congress for like 10 years, you know?
And a state legislator. He was a state legislator for 4 years, in Congress for 6.
He's unqualified because he's MAGA.
I want someone as
Because
my
he's a Trump
governor with
Republican.
experience. I just want a mom. I just want a mom on a mission as my governor.
Oh my gosh. Mom on a mission. These people are back with this shit. It didn't work in 2024 or 2022, and now they're back to the same crap. I mean, listen, change the Constitution of Florida so we can run a 3rd term and be done with it.
You know, stop this whole debate from happening.
Yeah. This guy in chat's right. What does being a parent have to do with qualification? Most of Congress are parents, and they are all incompetent, evil scumbags. Yeah. They're all incompetent. Every single one of them, they're just, well, not every one of them, but...
Also, most of them are not good parents. Case in point, Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good at all. Alright. But yeah, like, this is a real thing. That's their whole messaging. That she is a wife and a mother. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit that she's a mother and a wife? Okay, yay, whatever. Who cares? How does it qualify you for governor? Meanwhile, these people are against Lord Trump running in North Carolina.
I'm qualified to be governor because I go on the rap streams.
That's
you guys
real.
know me. I don't know any of you, but I pretend.
Byron Donalds is a bad father because he's a Trump Republican.
Oh,
So true.
That's gonna be the messaging, isn't it? That she's a
Hello,
mom.
John
By the way,
Hey,
these
John.
are
Sorry
coming,
about-
by the
John
way,
Rose,
that's
sorry
coming from the
about
same people.
schizophrenically ranting. Sorry about schizophrenically ranting last night, but we got to get some of that done. You know, we got to do some schizophrenic rants.
Oh, and by
Okay,
the way,
so like Luke
what I
showed up
said
in
is
my
literally
chat.
coming from the same people that supported Ron DeSantis, who literally had that ad where he's reading the art of the deal to his baby son.
Oh gosh, it's cringe.
Yeah, same. John Rose.
Yeah, but you guys gotta hear this. Like Luke, like randomly joined. I was like actually talking about scripture with a friend, like, and then like randomly Luke joins my voice chat and starts schizophrenically rambling about Chinese communism and homeless MAGA, and I just didn't.
What the hell?
I didn't
What?
understand. Yeah.
Luke, what are you into? What? Sir?
Also, I will say, I'm not going to say what he was talking about, but it definitely wasn't scripture, but we're not going to get into what it was about.
It just happened to
okay, we can say
intersect
that.
with the weird thing you heard when you came in.
Oh gosh. Chance of Trazic for 5. Dave Hale's tweet, he worships McCain, Romney, and Bush. And despite these guys being hated, Reinald's the only people who reward failure with praise, I swear. Yeah, I mean, these people really think that, you know, oh, if we run McCain again, we could win. If we run Romney, we could win.
It's better to lose with principles than to win with fascism or something.
Oh gosh. Thomas Baker for 5. I guess that these moms on a mission kids know their nannies better than their moms anyways. That's true. You're probably not wrong. Rich people hiring others to raise their kids and all. Yeah, I mean, that's a sad part about it. When they usually do that stuff, like, half the time they don't even raise their kids. That's a scam.
I wonder when Kyle Sweetser is going to run for governor of Alabama as a Democrat.
I hope he does. And he loses by, like, frickin' God knows how much. He would get killed.
I didn't leave the Republican Party. The Republican Party left me. Now I'm running for governor of Alabama to defeat MAGA once and for all.
There's no reason to talk about the more R-rated part of the Bible. John, what the hell were you guys talking about last night?
Okay. So we were. I was talking to my friend about a Patristic Nectar sermon series that was about people that kind of ruin their lives by seeking out too much medical help. You know, like at the end of someone's life, sometimes they like, you know, kind of instead of spending precious time with their family, they're getting like 18 surgeries. They're spending like tens of millions of dollars trying desperately to cling to life. And, you know, it was like kind of a sermon about having peace with, you know, passing into the next life. And as an anecdote, while Luke was coming in, I was talking about a friend of mine from Sweden who had multiple surgeries on his private parts, and it had ruined his life. But it was funny, and it was weird, and that's what he jumped in on the conversation about. But yeah,
Huh.
he was born with like a genetic deformity that made him have multiple holes down there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if
Too
you
much
guys knew that.
information. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Too much information for that one. Let's see here. DeSantis should run for Senate in 2030. He's not going to run for anything. He can run for president. They get killed, but... I mean, these idiots, they actually think fans could lose to DeSantis in a primary. What a bunch of dumbasses. I mean, do they actually believe they can lose to frickin' Vance or beat Vance?
Yeah,
gonna try.
because Vance is a MAGA Republican.
But MAGA Republicans are popular. They
Yeah,
control the
MAGA
party.
Republican is so popular. Ron DeSantis felt the desperate need to like replicate one for one the exact thing Trump did with signing executive orders and throwing out pins. He just did it with the immigration law. I think that's like one of the funniest things ever. He literally did it in public. He signed the bill and then like started throwing pins at the audience and like other stuff. Like he one for one replicated it, which, you know, I'm not crapping on DeSantis for doing that, but what I am saying is it's obvious what image is more popular if you're replicating what the guy's doing.
Let's see. Rap, I've been hearing that Kemp might not run for president or Senate. Yeah, he's gonna probably run for president. What a dumbass. What a freaking dumbass. Why the hell is Kemp running for president? Why? I don't get this one. Did he see what happened to Ron? Did he see what happened to Sununu when he tried to? Well, he didn't run, but he was going to. How did that work out for him?
It didn't work out for Ron, but it can work out for me.
Kemp is gonna get like 5% in Iowa and lose. That's what's gonna happen.
Because I have a truck.
Oh gosh, I mean it's the same thing Sununu did. This dumbass had a free Senate seat. All he had to do was file paperwork, and he would win easily. And he doesn't do that, and doesn't do anything, and not even run for president. What a bozo!
Well, I remember back in the 24 primary talking a little bit about how um, there were kind of devils whispering in DeSantis's ear, like telling him, like it wasn't necessarily that he himself wanted to run in 24. I think he was even thinking about waiting, but all the devils in his ear started whispering, and Kemp has, at least twice as many devils as DeSantis does. So
Well, I mean, I'm hoping this is like
I-
bullshit to
that's
keep
cool.
like Ossoff on his feet, but I don't think it is. I have a gut feeling it's real.
Boston Nationalist made a tweet about this. Told me to bring it up. He says that Kemp is going to run. He's just waiting. The reason he's waiting is to leave Ossoff in the dark about who to campaign against and build up resources for his campaign. He saw what happened to Sununu and isn't going to make the same mistake.
He better.
I
But all right, so let's switch chat.
guess he wants to. So basically, I guess I don't know. He wants to leave Ossoff to campaign against Marjorie Taylor Greene or something.
That'd be funny if that happened.
Because I mean, it's obvious he wants MTG to be the nominee.
We'll see. We shall see. Well, yeah, obviously. What is chat saying? I think I missed something. Are you guys gonna talk about the candidates to be the next pope? Oh, we gotta talk about this. You were asking about it. Well, for those that don't know, we had an update yesterday that apparently the media in Rome have been put on high alert because it sounds like the Pope's condition is not sounding too good. So we don't
It
know
should
what's
also be noted that the Prime Minister visited the Pope.
Oh, you did? Or she did?
And yeah, she said he was fine, so
I don't like but here's the thing though, it's like they always say he's fine, then he just dies, Because they can be fine 1 second, but they're dying, So I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I have a bad feeling he's probably gonna be dead by the end of the week. I don't want that to happen, obviously, but I just think the way they're talking and the fact that media's now at high alert. Now I think the Swiss Guard is getting prepared. It's like I don't know. I'm not liking how it's looking, but so people are asking about who's gonna be the next pope. They gotta pick one of the Cardinals. So that's gonna be we don't know for sure. But it sounds like there's like 4 main people. I think it's I'm hoping for Pope Pizza and Pope Sarah. Sarah's not gonna happen, but I'm hoping for someone like his name's actually Pizza. So but yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go. It's been what, 13 years? Yeah, 13 years since the last Pope was elected. So yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go. We shall see.
it'll be interesting if Sarah gets picked because this guy, first off, he's African. I think he's from Guinea.
Yeah.
So honestly, you could probably see some misconceptions on both sides about him.
Listen, this guy
Well,
is.
I think the beautiful thing about cardinals and bishops that come out of Africa is no matter what you think about them, they are some of the most conservative bishops
Oh,
in
yeah.
the entire Roman Catholic
That's
Church.
the thing. But you're talking about a black pope, so you'll have the left celebrating because progress. Hey, now we have a black pope for the first time ever. Until they realize how conservative he is.
Yeah, people
And
are.
then you probably have some of the boomer cons that'll claim he's a DEI pope until they see how
DEI
conservative he is.
Well, yeah, people understand. Pope Sarah, like Cardinal Sarah, which again, there's like a time limit. I think it's like June, because if it's before June, I don't think you can really get it. But or after June, I should say, because he's.
I don't think he wants to be elected.
I don't think so either. But I don't know, because usually when they have issues finding a pope, they usually pick someone that's kind of older, like him, as like a consensus pick. It's like, oh, he'll die in like 5 years anyways.
Well, if I can jog my memory, I'll try to. But I remember a year or two ago, I read a very eloquent letter from one specific African. I don't know if he was a cardinal, but he was a bishop. Man, if they could make him a cardinal, I would love for that guy to be pope because he basically wrote about his frustrations and concerns during COVID, and it was I just remember it being a really beautiful letter. And so you guys have people. You guys have people like, and it's too big of a church for you not to have good people that could be pope. But it's just one of those things where you have to think about who can elect the pope, and I think that's the biggest thing that's changed in 13 years is that like the composition of the cardinals that can participate in the election has massively shifted, and we're going to see the fruits of that whenever Pope Francis does
The thing is, it's got the weird
repose.
thing is like, despite it being Pope Francis, who he'll make it sound like he's a progressive, he's not. But for a pope, yeah, he's kind of more liberal. But he actually picks some very conservative cardinals. So yeah.
Well, that's kind of what we're having to hope for, because in his appointments, he has appointed a massive percentage of the cardinals that can vote. I think it's something like 79%. But it is true that Pope Francis was very diverse in his picks. I guess we just have to figure out how much of that entails diversity of thought later on. But he definitely did, like, from wide backgrounds, pick people, and he very much changed the shape of the Cardinals. So we'll have to see what happens. I'm not making any prejudgments, but the one thing I will say, I am praying for the Pope to get better, because I don't actually think this is a great geopolitical time for us to change popes.
I
When
think it's a bad time too.
when the Conference of U.S. Catholic Bishops is suing the United States government,
Oh, we'll
I
get
don't
to
think
that
this
in a
is a good
second. That's
time.
bullshit what they're doing. The shit they're pulling.
Yeah.
Now,
No.
we'll get to that. Ben Sinex for 5. I wouldn't take Maloney at her word at this. Liz Truss met Queen Elizabeth 2 days before her death, and she seemed coherent, though frail. Well, that's why. It's like, they may be coherent, but they could still be dying. That happens. So, General Hydra for 2. What the hell do you mean hold down there? Oh. That's real. Alright. We need a conservative pope. Well, yeah, it's gonna be, my guess is be more conservative pope than Francis. It's a matter of, like, who, I think. That's just my personal belief. It's either gonna be someone from Italy, obviously, or it's gonna be an African pope. I think it's one of those two. We shall see, though. We shall see. Rap, who do you like to see the most? I'm Pope Pizza or Bust. I know that's not his actual name, but it's kind of funny to say Pope Pizza. There's a list by Kelvin Coolidge Project, and a few others. Erdo from Hungary would be pretty good. I think this guy's, like, pro, Orban, and he's, like, anti-immigration. So, I hope he gets one of them get elected. There's a couple good ones. But yeah. I would say either one of these guys, like, from Italy or, like, Hungary, or an African pope. That's my hope. Because you're getting a more conservative one, so. Is it too late for Jimmy Carter to become pope? Yeah. I think he's kind of dead. Oh, why can't we have an American pope? It's an unwritten rule. There's no American popes. So. Alright, who do you like to see the most? Again, just probably some pope from Africa, because all these guys are really good. Like, the ones from Africa, they're freaking amazing. But we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, I don't know. I hope Pope Francis makes it through, but I don't like how it's sounding. You know? And like John was saying, like, I don't think it's a good time to be picking a new pope, because what's the bishops doing again? The freaking, those idiots? Like, they're suing the Trump administration, right?
The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops is suing the Trump administration because they want their migrant slush funds back. They want their money back.
Bullshit. That's not... Those idiots... Wow, I gotta be careful what I say, but... You know, you cannot have that. Where they're not worried about the Pope possibly dying by the end of the week. No, they're worried about, oh yeah, our slush fund is gone. Really? That's what you're worried about. I mean, that's not the point of those organizations, but whatever. Stephen Howard for 5. Thoughts Jim Tressel for Ohio governor. As an Ohio State University football fan, the name is nostalgic for me, but I don't know much about him politically. Yeah, didn't DeWine Pick was lieutenant governor? Tressel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere, but...
However, Vivek is supposed to announce his run next Monday.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Huh.
Maybe even before that, honestly. But he's doing like a statewide tour to kind of announce his candidacy for governor.
Alright, Lord Rhino for 5. What's the difference between a bishop and a cardinal? A cardinal's basically a senior bishop, basically. That's the best way to look at it. Like, higher in the hierarchy, so.
Yeah.
And they
basically, like, if you're not Catholic Orthodox or like with Oriental or whatever, Basically, there is just bishops, but what happens is that church administration creates layers for these people to operate under so that people have somebody to report to, et cetera, et cetera. Cardinals are at the top of the papacy. They're right below the Pope. So that
They
they're
pick
just
the
like
Pope.
kind of like top tier bishops.
They
They're
pick-
top tier bishops prior to
And
the
they pick the
papacy.
Pope. So the next one.
Yeah, some of them pick the Pope.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, I should clarify some of them. It gets kind of wonky how it works, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because they have some weird stuff where it's like some of them vote, some of them don't, some of them are not in the conclave. It becomes kind of a mess because it's so rare and it's like kind of hard to explain. But all right, what happened to the Pope? It does not sound like he's gonna make it. So
Well,
Very
we did
unfortunate,
just
very
hear news. I think the latest news that came out was very brief, and it was like one statement that was like, the Pope had a tranquil night and he woke up and ate breakfast. And that sounds nice. It sounds positive,
I
but
don't
the
like
thing
what it
that makes
was
everybody feels nervous when they're so brief talking about it because they're not saying, "Oh, he recovered a little bit from his, double bronchitis or whatever, double pneumonia." Or, hey, he's doing no. They're not saying he's getting better. They're just like he had a tranquil night,
yeah,
which
it's
is
like he woke up and he ate food. That's what they said. So
yeah.
when they start saying stuff like that, like it's not a guarantee of anything, but that's
It
usually
just doesn't feel good.
yeah, no. Because when they're brief on that, usually when they're more specific, that's a good thing. It's like, yeah, his now it's pneumonia, I think. So yeah, his
Yeah,
bronchitis
Mhm.
cleared up. He didn't say
I
that.
I don't remember if it's double bronchitis
It's
or double
double.
pneumonia. I
It's-
saw yeah.
Which I don't think I don't know was possible considering half his lungs gone, but I don't know. I thought that was impossible for him, but I don't know. Who's the longest serving pope in history of the Catholic Church? I don't know, actually, top of my head.
That's a great question.
There were a lot of long-serving ones.
I think Pope Pius was,
Pius the Ninth, yeah.
or it could have been St. Peter. It could have been St. Peter. We don't know for sure. Though,
Rap
but
for Pope.
no,
I'm kidding.
I would not be qualified for Pope. He has pneumonia. Yeah, when it goes from bronchitis to double pneumonia, yikes. Was Pope
Yeah,
John
very
Paul,
sad.
Was John Paul II the GOAT? Yeah, he was the best modern pope. Let's see. The next pope will reject the secular direction. Well, I wouldn't say it was a secular. The thing with Francis was he was trying to I don't know. I just think he had good intentions for what he was doing, but I think it was misguided in some of the stuff he was trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
He definitely wasn't a secular pope.
Yeah, he
I
wasn't
think
secular.
that's
But what I think he
yeah.
was trying to do, he was trying to he tries to see the best in people and we can work with other people and try to I don't know.
And combine that with the media trying to push a narrative, so they take everything he said out of context. He'll say oh, gay people should be oppressed around the world, and the media will be like, Pope comes out in favor of same-sex marriage.
Yeah, it's like
and
I
it's
remember the blessing
no,
thing.
that's not what he.
He said gay people can be blessed, but not for their marriage or whatever. That's what he said. And they were saying, oh, he supports gay marriage. It's like that's bullshit.
Oh, he just said people who
didn't
commit
he,
this sin can receive blessings just like other people who commit other sins. But that doesn't mean they're blessing the marriage.
Didn't at some point he use either a Spanish or Italian homophobic slur or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, he
didn't
did.
he actually use it twice?
He probably did. Glitch Evie for
Yeah, I
two.
remember that.
Can you commit blasphemy against Alan Lichtman? Oh yeah, we can. Well, I mean,
Lichtman's probably gonna throw his hat in the ring for the Pope position. He's probably gonna try to get.
Wasn't he?
You never know. He still thinks he's blasphemy against him. No, watch him do a 13 keys predictions for the Pope election.
Oh yeah, it's like we get freaking. Oh, there's only one bishop, one cardinal we cannot elect. It's a guy from the Philippines. Tagle, I think his name is. If we elect him, we're screwed. That's what I'm gonna say. But
is he a leftist?
Oh, listen. You think Pope Francis is liberal? This guy takes it a whole another level.
He's from I thought the Philippines was really conservative.
Yeah, but there's some. You gotta be careful. Some of these countries, there's some very liberal ones. That's why I'm saying pick an African Pope, because you're gonna get a conservative one. So.
No, we're gonna get all the DEI. Everyone's gonna say they're DEI.
No, because
Like
they're
all the
just
boomers.
good. They're actually
I
freaking
know.
conservative.
I'd support an African. I'm just saying, like, preparing everyone, because if that does happen, like Real Texan said when I was off, because I was eating my lunch, but I was listening, and Real Texan was talking about how like all the boomers are going to see him as DEI, which they almost certainly will.
Until
Especially,
until they realize how
yeah,
conservative he is.
especially Protestant boomers, by the way, like evangelical boomers.
All right, Lord Rhino for 2. Who is the best pope? Ooh, I mean, there's so many. Like, I mean, you could just give a cheesy answer, like say Saint Peter is the best pope, but I don't know.
Who's the best American in history?
Best American?
Like, good luck.
Yeah.
Like, good luck.
Maybe Pope
Like I
Leo.
said, there's a lot of them.
Pope Leo was pretty good.
Well, I'm gonna say the Pope Saint Gregory the Great because he wrote
yeah.
a lot of beautiful things. But in addition, the mass that promulgated through his tenure, it literally is what is the Tridentine Mass is trying to like capture.
That's I didn't.
So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Pope
so
Gregory's
Pope
up
Saint
there.
Gregory's really cool.
Pope Leo, Pope there's a couple other ones. Yeah, you could just say Peter, but I don't know. That's kind of just like a generic answer, like, oh yeah, the first Pope's the best, but anyways, John Paul II. John Paul is pretty good, but I wouldn't say he's the best. He's pretty good though. Let's see. Tony Vatila stand for 2. The Philippines Pope is a Madison, Wisconsin Pope. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. I'm not exaggerating, by the way. No, I'm not. No, he's not lying. Look up Cardinal Tagle of the Philippines. I think that's how you say his name, Tagle. The guy is
No, I'm not claiming he's not left wing. I just think it's funny that that's the term he's describing, a Madison, Wisconsin Pope.
It's one way to look at it.
It is, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, he's he's further to the left than Francis was, so.
Why is it that they can't, that you said it's an unwritten rule, they can't have an American Pope?
So, there's a lot of bullshit, but they're worried about, like, oh, you get an American Pope, but, like, is he loyal to America? Is he loyal to the church? Like, you get that shit,
Yeah, so
well,
like,
how does that
there's
not fall into other countries as well?
Look,
Like,
okay, look, listen. If you stop talking for a second, we can explain it to you.
well,
Americanism is like this really big, like it's actually its own conversational topic in Roman Catholicism. And there's like an internal impulse for a while, and it's not new. It's pretty old. People worried about as America grew in power, America's influence over the papacy changing, because they were seeing that the immigrants that came to America from Ireland and Italy and whatever else, they were being culturally assimilated and Americanized, and that actually bled into
I see.
their liturgical practices and other stuff. And so, like the people in Europe are scared of the like religion kind of being tainted by that Americanization, so they don't want an American pope.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
there's other reasons, like they don't want a shit show where it's like, oh yeah, there's like 12 different popes at once or something crazy happening. They don't want that, so it's like, yeah, let's just avoid America. The closest one would probably be like Canada. Even then, that might be pushing it. So
I doubt they would pick anyone from Canada either.
Well, no, I'm just saying like that would be like the closest option. Maybe not. I don't know about Mexico, but
I can see it from Mexico.
We'll see. Man Milk has been a member for 19 months. The greatest pope was Urban II. Oh yeah, he's up there too. Also sorry, haven't been active. My stepdad had a stroke a bit ago. Oh, that sucks. And my life is
prayers for his stepdad.
Yeah, that's
prayers for Man Milk's dad.
Yeah, again, like don't worry. Like
dad.
if you have to miss stuff, listen. Your family's more important, obviously. So hope your stepdad gets better. So, all right. The church's unique relationship with the states. Yeah, and plus the culture of like American bishops are a bit different. So,
I guess America is just a very different culture, I guess, too, than Europe and the rest of the world.
Now, it would be cool to have an American pope, but it's not going to happen. So.
Yeah, like American culture and the old world, like kind of just like that's the whole point of American culture is that we're not the old world, we're the new world.
Well, I mean, just a good example is what those bishops are trying to pull with the freaking Trump. Like that's ridiculous. The ship's trying to pull. Like
I know though, isn't like the bishop in San Francisco like super conservative for some reason?
Well, yeah,
was it?
Bishops are like hot. they're either really conservative or very liberal in America. So there's
Feels
Yeah,
like most of the
I mean-
younger ones, most of the ones going into it now are conservative.
they're
So in like
because
20 years,
the only
yeah,
conservatives go to be priests now. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, here I
Even.
found a little graph that like shows where like most of the popes have been from, and what you'll notice is that for like the majority of history, I'm popping it in general, it's just taking a second to upload. Like I think it's like a little over 2/3 of all the popes have been from Italy, and that expanded out, I think, like later in the late modern period. But like you also notice that like the other popes, like the large areas that popes come from, France, Germany, a couple of from other places, that relate to it, but it's all pretty much Europe. They're all European, and like Pope Francis being from Argentina itself was like this amazing new thing that they hadn't done before. So like, yeah, be the first American Pope when America's the most powerful country in the world, very geopolitically. It's a big question mark. What would happen to the
yeah,
papacy
that's
itself?
why they don't want to stir they don't want to hit the hornet's
I
nest.
mean,
That's the main
can we
reason.
finally get those like more like hardcore? I think they call them rad trads to stop calling Pope Francis by his birth name. You know those people around who call
Well,
him
I got a rant to get into. I might
like
get
the
into it right
yeah
now.
like the Taylor Marshall crowd. You know, like those people.
Oh my god.
Dustin Carter for 2. You're pulled the rug on old world ideals though. But still, it's just like they don't want to hit the hornet's nest. They don't want to risk it because you get an American Pope in there, that's gonna be a shit show and a half waiting to happen. Yeah, the Syrian Pope was a long time ago. I think Turkey was actually Peter. I could be wrong, but anyways, Poland was John Paul. So I don't know that one. France is actually 100% Italian. Yeah, that's a funny thing. He's actually Italian, but he's from Argentina.
Still counts.
Yeah,
Don't take Argentina's Pope away from them.
Yeah,
Jerk.
it's just like we barely they're just like, okay, this guy's Italian, but you know what? Give Argentina credit. We already had 217. K Cup for 2. Just had lunch with my bro. What I missed. So we're talking about the Pope stuff, and I gotta go on a quick tangent now because, listen, I don't care what denomination you are. Like, I don't care if you're Catholic, Orthodox, Lutheran. It doesn't freaking matter. What some of these people on Twitter are doing with the whole Francis stuff is just infuriating to me. And to a bunch of Catholics. It's a slap in the face to the Catholics. Now, for those that don't know what I'm talking about, there are a bunch of people hoping for the death of Pope Francis. Like, they're outright saying, yeah, we want Pope Francis to die. He's the Antichrist. I mean, excuse me, what? I don't get how Pope Francis is somewhat the Antichrist. But that's what these people are saying. Like, oh, we are wishing death upon him because he's a heretic or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, just listen. I understand that, like, Lutherans and all that stuff, they don't believe the Pope. I get that. But how many people does Pope Francis represent in the world?
Like at least 1.3 billion, maybe 1.5 billion.
Yeah. 1.3 billion people. The largest religion on earth. The largest denomination on earth. All right, 1.3 billion people. And these assholes, these Christians, listen, not everyone's doing this. I want to be clear about that. I know plenty of Protestants and Orthodox and others. They're actually being chill about this. They're actually sending prayers and they're hoping that Pope Francis makes it. Because anyone with a brain would realize he represents 1 billion people. 1 billion Catholics. Well, now you have people like praying, like hoping he dies, and like, oh, he should have died years ago. They're celebrating his death. It's like, why? Over disagreement on theology or politics? That's what you're making a big deal about. I know there's disagreements on a lot of stuff. I get that, but what do you have to gain for hoping the death of Pope Francis? What do you gain? I'm being serious. Does anyone know?
Well, I kind of compare it a lot to people who wish for, and I'm not trying to denigrate Pope Francis by saying this, but like I kind of compare to people who wish for the death of Vladimir Putin, because I like, and this is like the way I put it, because I obviously don't have a bunch of nice things to say about Pope Francis, and I'm not Catholic, but it's not time for me to like criticize him or anything. I'm praying for his good health. because I have no idea what comes after Pope Francis, and I'm not all giddy and just ready for a new pope just because. And I think that's like the error that a lot of people are making right now. I mean, it's an error in their heart and spirit to be so cruel to someone that's suffering from double pneumonia. Even if you see Pope Francis as like setting himself against America or setting himself against traditional Roman Catholicism, or if you see him as setting himself against whatever you think he's like against. This is just not what Christ put in our hearts to do when we have people that are suffering and that are going through things. You're just supposed to pray. Even if you see him as an enemy, you're supposed to pray for him. Um, Pray for his good health, and if God fails to provide that to him, but pray him with a peaceful passing. You're not supposed to spite these people, especially like these faith leaders. It's very
It's like unwritten
deeply
rule.
uncouth. It's more uncouth than like political leaders.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
you never want to root as Christians for anyone to die. That's not
It's like-
something you want to do.
it's like I'm never gonna say anything bad about like the patriarch or whatever, which I think is in bad health, if I'm not mistaken. But it's like I'm not gonna say anything bad about the guy. Like I have disagreements. It's like what if he's not doing good? Like Pope Francis, why are you gonna bring up like this theology bullshit where it's like, oh my goodness, he had some bad takes. I'm not denying that. But to say that he's like the Antichrist and like he's not a Christian because he had some weird takes on some like immigration stuff. Really? I mean,
People
it's-
now,
I
that's what
know
these people do.
I know some people on the harder belt of Catholicism. I'm talking about people that are part of SSPX
oh,
or
I know what you're talking about.
other
yeah.
things related to that. But like those people criticize his handling of certain countries. A lot of people blame Pope Francis's rhetoric for the Chinese church kind of having a lot of problems, and they blame Francis for things like a bunch of different world things. And I think those people, if they're good people, they may be kind of tired of listening to Pope Francis say stuff, but at the very least, they pray for him and they understand that he is their pope. But I think that's another big problem if you're a Roman Catholic that's like taking one of these positions is like it is legitimately like the papacy is a core part of being Roman Catholic. I don't believe in the tenets of like some of the things that the papacy does, but if you are Roman Catholic and you're just gonna like wish death upon the Pope, and you are kind of you're teetering towards like sedevacantist,
Oh,
schism kind
don't
of
remind me of those
territory.
people.
Well, yeah, I was just saying, it's like legitimately, like
I know.
it's part of the faith. It's part of like Christ built the church on this rock, and you guys consider it to be a very specific place and time in Rome. And so, like, if you are like being a jerkhole to like the guy that's in the seat, it's you're kind of just setting yourself up to be a seed. And I don't recommend anybody be a sedevacantist. I mean, obviously, if you want to go to an Orthodox parish, just DM me, and I'll like show you how to get to an Orthodox parish. But like, don't be a sedevacantist. Don't
Yeah, I mean,
don't do
like,
that.
Listen, preferably Catholic, but like, don't do the shit. It's like, I'm just saying, it's like, listen, I have respect for Orthodox. I mean, our differences are like,
Yeah.
what, 2 things, if that. So it's like,
Well, I mean, I think that's the really big thing, and like in Western culture and especially American culture that people fail to realize. See all these arguments online and assume Orthodox and Catholic hate each other. Listen, my priest goes to like breakfast every week with like all the Catholic priests around the 2 cities that we're near, and he goes to that breakfast with the Catholic priests because the Protestant pastors don't even know the difference between a Catholic and Orthodox priest. So like you're just kind of excluded from the brunch club. Um so yeah, no. Like in the West, Catholics and Orthodox get along a lot better in real life than it would seem. If you like the actual tension between like Catholics and Orthodox happen in domestic Orthodox countries, like in Russia it's the opposite, where the Orthodox priests and the Protestant missionaries get along, and then the Catholics are maligned because of the Russian state. Um but yeah, if you're in the West, the Catholics and Orthodox are getting along.
all right,
Oh.
let's see here. Lord Rhino for 5. Never ask in Argentina why their grandfather's Italian or German. That's real. Like glitchy Evie for 2. Wishing that on anyone is not Christ-like. Well, that's another thing. It's like, how can you call yourself Christian
yeah.
and hoping for the death of someone like Francis? Chance of Jurassic for 2. Can't find Rose's channel. Can you show it to me? It's just John Rose, right?
Yeah, like at Real John Rose is my Twitter. If you're looking for me on YouTube, I think like typing MAGA Wizard. Here, let me see. At MAGA Wizard in all caps. Let's see if it pulls up my channel. It pulls up my channel for me if I type at MAGA Wizard into the search bar.
Okay. Andrew Jones for 2. Imagine a pope that came from the Amish. That's never gonna happen. That's impossible.
Amish is their own religion. Like
Well, it's I guess it could be possible where, like,
that's not how that works.
they convert to Catholicism, maybe, but I don't know.
We have some 200 IQ takes going on here.
And
We gotta
again,
let 'em cook.
they're from America, and we just went over that there can't be an American pope. It's an unwritten.
Well, there could be. It's just not gonna happen for a long time, at least. So, K-Cup for 5. The worst fight we can have on Earth is a fight among people of faith. Only the devil wins that. Well, yeah, it's like you gain nothing from these dumb arguments about, like, oh, we hope he dies. Tester Dunn has been a member for 15 months. The People's Republic and Jeff Wright must secede. That's real. Dustin Carter for 2. Dustin Carter for 2. I am a Southern Baptist. Have respect for Catholic brothers. Well, yeah, it's like I disagree with some people in some of the denominations and stuff, but I respect all of them. They follow the basic.
I gotta real quickly, because I think that was a cue for me to shout out Tester is Done. That was from our live stream last night. That is what we referred to the 5 counties in the drift list that back Jeff Wright. We love those Jeff Wright Patriots. But yeah, go sub the Tester is Done. He does great content, and I'll be making videos on his channel as well soon. So.
All right, Samuel J.
Oh, by the way, should we talk about the Doge bucks?
Oh, yeah, actually, we gotta talk about that. Samuel J. for 5. Let's go full Old Testament and get an Israeli Pope's son. That's not gonna happen. Well, actually, Pope Pete's technically is a cardinal of that region, so it's possible. It's possible. Figure could have been a very good question. Amish are very religious. Yeah, well, like that, it's its own faith. So you could be culturally Amish, but I guess I don't know. That's weird. That'll hurt my brain, I think. Right. So let's talk about yeah, someone brought up the was it you, Real Texan? The
the
Doge
Doge
bucks.
bucks.
Doge, what's it called? What are they calling it? Doge refund, I think it was.
Savings or something.
Yeah, so let me pull this up. Doge dividend. Doge dividend. Doge dividend. So okay, now this is not a guarantee it's gonna happen yet, but I would love it. Now, for those that live under a rock, Doge is trying to save, I think, $1 trillion or $2 trillion it was. And that's your goal, $2 trillion in savings, which I think is gonna happen. And they have a proposal where that we are gonna save $2 trillion. Well, why don't we give a refund to 79 million households or $5,000, which would be $400 billion. So the idea is we spend all this money in crap and we screw the taxpayer for years. We should give them something back. Like, it's not going to fix all the damage we've done, but it's kind of like a sorry. You know, it's like, oh, we're sorry for for stealing your money for 50 years. But yeah, so the idea is they would each get a $5,000 check. What do you guys think of this? Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Should we do it? What do you guys think?
I mean, if you're trying to be fiscally responsible, if you're trying to be fiscally responsible, I think that it's something we shouldn't do. We should just immediately go to the debt. And I think actually a lot of American taxpayers want that. They don't want a refund. Some of them want a refund, but some of them just want the debt to be paid down so that the entire global economy does not crash. They would rather that not happen. Thank you. But like at the end of the day, if you do this, I think it'll be very politically popular. I think it would make Trump even more popular than he was before.
In the short term, though, because it would likely raise inflation, which is an issue. So it'd raise Trump's.
No, I don't think it would.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is that like it wouldn't substantially raise inflation if it's from savings that Doge actually makes tangibly. Like Doge has to actually make the savings first.
Yeah. So,
but if they do reduce it, then they could do that.
Yes, the idea is it'd be like we're gonna save $2 trillion, but it's kind of like we're sorry. Here's $400 billion. You know, just a one-time thing. So you're still saving a 1.6 trillion. So that's why it's not gonna. It might. Yeah, inflation. I don't think is gonna go up. Because this money's already being spent. Just towards people.
Well, I think the reason it's symbolically significant more so than just giving taxpayers money back, the money is not really significant and it doesn't help everybody much except for in the very short term. But the reason it's actually significant is because it's a symbol of the government admitting to what it's done.
Yeah.
It's the government admitting that not only did they like give up Congress's purse powers to an unelected fourth branch of government that's nowhere in the Constitution, but that branch of government used your money for the most inane, ridiculous things all around the world, and not only just inane, ridiculous things where they just launder money, but also very specifically regime change. Regime change you may not have agreed with, in countries you may not even be able to point to on a map. And so at the end of the day, it's just the $5,000 is more important as symbol to in my mind than it is as like anything else. It's like we wasted your money, we apologize, and this is our symbol of penance. And that kind of forces the government to go down a road of, well, how do we continue repenting of this? I think that might be the symbolism might be more important than the material.
What I think might be a better option is just make it $1,000 per household or something, and the rest of the money, put it towards the sovereign wealth fund they're talking about.
Yeah, sure.
I think that'd be a better
That's
idea.
cool.
It's like, here's a quick check for, we fucked up. It's not going to fix everything, but the rest of the money is going to go towards the sovereign wealth fund, so we can actually, never have to worry about that again. Well,
That's a good idea.
I
like that idea.
That's because we really haven't heard much about that. Aren't they starting that later this year, right? That's kind of the plan, like September or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, they had talked about establishing it. I don't know the timeline on it, but it's a great idea, and I think that would work just as well. Yeah, they do. There needs to be some symbol of penance, I think, from the government.
Yeah, just like a
But
quick
like
check.
it doesn't have to be this. It doesn't. But this would serve that purpose. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because again, it's like it's not going to fix everything. I mean, we've spent trillions of dollars on shit, but it's a start. It's definitely a start, and then like you start paying off the debt, and you have this wealth fund. I think a lot of people be like happier. It's like, oh, we actually have a government fixing our problems now, the first time in like, well, ever possibly. But yeah, we gotta see what happens.
It's a funny fact of life. Like when people think about the $36 trillion of debt, a lot of them think like all of that is debt to foreign nations, but there is a sizable chunk of that debt that actually is just to American citizens. And maybe that's part of what the symbolism of the 5,000 is, because America can't even pay back its debt to its own citizens. So
That's pathetic.
here's a check. Here's a check. We're sorry for using your money for condoms in Mozambique
and Gaza. Don't forget
and
Gaza. I remember when they tried to like spin that as, oh, it was the wrong Gaza.
No, that was so funny though, because like it actually went to the Gaza region of Mozambique, and they were like, "Shit, it's wrong." It's like we still spent $500 million. I don't care where the condoms are going. We shouldn't be spending that much. I don't like. Is that supposed to be a difference that it's went to Mozambique instead of to the Gaza Strip?
Well,
like,
Luke,
who cares?
they found it. They found $50 million towards the actual Gaza, the Gaza Strip.
So it was both.
Yes,
it was both.
It was both. Data Republican, I forgot who it was. They dug it further and they realized, oh, wait a minute, they hid it. They hid it like under like 50 different names. And it's like, oh yeah, this is the Gaza Strip. So we give it to both.
Also, so Data Republican did an interview with I think it was Nicole Shanahan.
And now she did one with
a couple weeks ago.
Glenn Beck, I think she's doing one with. So.
All
right.
What are you saying, Luke?
What?
Oh, you're just
no,
saying.
That's all I said. Yeah, I just saw she did an interview with Nicole Shanahan. That's all I was saying.
K-Cup for 5. The government was like the John Mulaney college joke. I gave you $120,000 and you already spent it, and now you're asking me for more. That's real. They said that every taxpayer gets a $5,000 check. No, every household would get one.
Yeah, like 79 million households or so.
Which I think that's a good way to do it. But just be 1,000 though, and the rest goes toward the fund. There's another Gaza. Yeah, that was a cope by them. It's like, oh, this money did go to the Gaza Strip. It went to Mozambique. It's like, who cares? You sent condoms to an African country. Congratulations.
Well, like I think the government should offer penance by like canceling all future episodes of Sesame Street and then 24/7 playing the Sesame Street Iraqi version that we've been paying for. I want to see the Iraqi version of Sesame Street playing on my television set as penance for wasting my money.
I would be terrified to see what they did with that show. Frankie Jr. Frankie Jr.
I want to see Taliban Elmo. I want to
Oh,
see Taliban
gosh.
Elmo,
Or-
guys.
Frankie Jr. for 2. Trump haters better not cash that check. Yeah, they better not. Oh, we can't support the Orange Man. So they can't cash their check. That's a win for everybody. A bunch of nerds. All right, talk with the Ukraine news. Yeah, I forgot we gotta talk about what's happening in Ukraine. Because, Trump just gave Zelensky the...
Zelensky.
What Trump just did was the biggest fuck you I've ever seen him do. This is glorious what he did. Now, listen. Let's be clear about one thing. Obviously, everyone wants the war to end. But Zelensky's throwing such a temper tantrum that I think Trump has had enough of this guy. I really think he's done with him. Because he's trying to end the war. And he's talking to Russia, and Ukraine's throwing a hissy fit. That they're not taking it seriously. Ukraine is not taking this seriously. And this is what Trump said. Think of it. A modestly successful comedian, Zelensky, talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war that they couldn't be won, that never had to start, but a war that he, without the US and Trump, will never be able to settle. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed, while the United States will get nothing back. Remember when Republicans were saying that money was going to come back in a loan? Remember that?
No. No, like they said that, but then like nothing that was in like the bills they were passing said anything related to that. They're just a lie. Just a lie.
Can't come for 2. Aloha Akbar Dorothy, Iraqi Elmo.
Oh yeah, can we talk about too? Our favorite Southern neocon Roger Wicker said that the terms need to be Putin getting executed.
What a dumbass.
Oh my god.
He was, by the way, Roger Wicker was the same senator who, at the beginning of the war, said that we should nuke Moscow. Completely unironically, by the way. He's actually on record saying this. You guys can go watch the interview.
Why did Sleepy Joe?
He's quite literally the embodiment of that meme of like what was it? Holden Blood Feast. You know that meme?
Yeah.
It's just like the 100-year-old just.
It's like
just wants to see people die in wars again.
Oh my gosh. All right. Why did Sleepy Joe Biden demand equalization and that this war is far more important to Europe than it is to us? We have a big, beautiful ocean of separation. He's right. It's like, why do we need to spend this much money on Ukraine? We have a whole ocean. Why does it matter? All right, on top of this, Zelensky admits that half of the money we sent him is missing. He refused to have elections and is very low in the Ukrainian polls, and the only thing he was good at was playing Biden like a fiddle. A dictator without elections, Zelensky better move fast or he's not going to have a country left. In the meantime, we are successfully negotiating to enter the war with Russia, something I'll admit only Trump and the Trump administration can do. Biden never tried. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelensky probably wants to keep the gravy train going. I love Ukraine, but Zelensky has done a terrible job, and his country is shattered, and millions have unnecessarily died, and so it continues. You know, I don't think Trump has ever been like this. Like, he never bashed a leader this much before. I don't think in a single tweet. Like, he made fun of, like, Kim Jong-un in that, but, like, I'd never seen Trump, like, you could tell he's not happy. Like, actually, he's pissed off with this one.
And the funniest thing, too, is that Boris Johnson is still trying to explain this away. Trump still likes Zelensky, guys. He's just encouraging you to... I love Boris Johnson. He's like, he's going to always blindly support Trump, even though he's like, clearly he's going against his views. But it's funny to see his reasoning.
K-Cup for 2. Oh, yum. Bomb cookies. Iraqi cookie monster. Oh, gosh. Thanks for that super
That's me.
Thanks for that one. But yeah, so Trump, I think he's going to get the war ended. I think Zelensky's going to be forced to sign the deal. I mean, do these...
Well, yeah, what's going to happen? Like, without U.S. money, he can't keep continuing. So, like...
Zelensky just wants to be, you know, the Ukrainian Reagan.
No, we're like the Churchill.
Well, he wants to be the Ukrainian Churchill.
But it's like, Churchill's actually popular.
He'll probably just like when it comes time to sign a treaty, he'll just say "niet" and walk out.
It just like this is wise. By the way, Zelensky's at like what 20% of the polls, wasn't it? Was he like
Yeah,
20%?
he's
Yeah.
losing. Yeah, it's like
Oh, yeah, no,
80-20 for
Zelensky is
the.
terrible, and
What?
no, literally, the reason Ukraine can't have elections is because they will instantly get a new leader, and that would be destabilizing.
Yeah,
no,
so much the
that's-
democracy crowd, by the way. It's like would these people want a free and fair election be held? Would they want that?
Yeah.
No, and they're
But,
like,
you know.
demand Russia have a free election too, and it's like even if Russia had a free election,
Putin would
Putin would
still
still
win
get
by
70% of the vote. Yeah.
Crank mode for 5. I am not reading that super chat. Thanks to super chat though. All right, 3268 was one poll had him losing. Yeah, it's like he knows he's cooked the next election. That's why they want to cancel it. Like that's a real truth. Not for democracy. No, they just know he's gonna get killed. And isn't the guy more pro like Ukraine and anti-Russia than Zelensky is?
Well, people forget Zelensky won his election as being the pro-peace candidate, and kind of like pro-West and Russia, wanting to negotiate with both sides. Like that's the campaign he ran in 2019, and now it's laughable to think that about him, you know. But that was the campaign he won in. It was 29. Was it 2019 or 27? I think it was 2019. I could be wrong though.
Let's see here. I saw a
but
tweet
yeah.
from a YouTube historian. He compared to what Trump is doing to the end of Ukraine to the appeasement that Chamberlain did in Munich. Oh God. Here I go with the freaking appeasement crap. John, can you explain as intellectually why this is not the same thing? Because I'm about to. Oh my gosh.
Well, no, it's because normies don't have any other comparison besides World War II. So, like, the only thing they go to, like, for literally anything with foreign policy is, oh, Putin's a world leader I personally don't like that it's invading a country. You know who else is a world leader? Hitler! And then that's all they do. That's the only comparison they make. And this is what happens. You know, people aren't educated on these conflicts, so they think every conflict is comparable. Yeah, they think every conflict is easily comparable to Hitler. You know, people do it with China, people do it with Russia, people do it with everyone.
Again, I think the reason people don't understand why this is appeasement, and I'm on my phone right now because I had to reboot my system.
Damn.
But the reason it's not appeasement is because Putin is, believe it or not, he's more of a softie in his world. There's a lot of much more harsh Russian politicians that could take his place. And when you think about what Putin's doing in May of 2022, like 3 months after the war started, Russia kind of had second thoughts about this whole thing because, you know, one of them, and if you looked at like Russian shill accounts at the time, they were all convinced that the special military operation was only going to take like 2 weeks.
Oh.
So they thought it was only going to be 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks to flatten the curve. No, but you know, at the end of it, freaking, it's been 3 months, and they're like, I don't really want to do this, and so because it would make them like it would politically cripple them in other places, and like you know, the Assad regime fell, so some of their allies are going to get destroyed in the process, and they were like, we don't want to do this. So Putin showed up in May of 2022. And to try and get out of it was basically offering everything back. I think like the only thing Putin refused to offer back was like Crimea or something.
Yeah.
But like, Russia had already controlled since 2014, you know, so.
So like at the end of the day, this isn't appeasement. What it is that you have forced their hand, Russia's hand to an extent in this conflict by prolonging it. And now, if Putin fails to get anything out of this nonsensical war, like if he doesn't get territory, if he doesn't get like whatever, and remember, all this territory is basically scorched earth at this point. There's freaking like the towns are depopulated, the infrastructure is destroyed, they don't have proper energy or water and stuff in a lot of places. Like there's been so much financial destruction in this place, so it's actually like in some ways it's more trouble than it's worth. But politically speaking, if Putin loses this land, or like he like can like capitulates to basic things, then the entire Russian government turns up on its belly, and we probably get a really crazy radical in office, like the second that this happens. And like again, it's just Putin's legitimacy of his regime. I know that they don't have like truly democratic elections, but his regime still has to have legitimacy, or else the oligarchs will replace him. And so the entire idea that this is appeasement, no, this is to keep the world from turning upside down and like having some freaking crazy dictator in charge of Russia. I like you guys don't understand, and that's what I would tell people is, if you want stability and you want this to go well, stop talking like this. Be realistic. Go to JD Vance's speech on the Senate floor in February of 2023, where he laid out exactly what has to happen. Look, we all know what has to happen. Just stop believing the shills.
Yeah.
By the way, I gotta go with
Don't
one
use
poll.
don't use NAFO as a foreign policy source. That's simple.
Oh yeah, NATO literally supports nuking Moscow.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I gotta go. It's a little too cold for me to stand out here and talk the
Alright.
whole time. But I did send some tweets for you to look over for the stream.
All right.
But yeah, so Lieutenant Governor of Mississippi collapsed on the Senate floor.
Oof.
Yeah.
All right. All right. See ya.
Mississippi's Mitch McConnell.
Basically. Couple super chats to read through. Glitch Eevee for 2. Elmo's Jihad against Doge. Oh gosh. Shanty Drazik for 2. It was vlogging through history. He's usually decent. Oh, that guy's a hack. K-Cup for 5.
Nah,
Teaching.
It's not a hack. He's actually
hack.
pretty reasonable. He is. Yeah, I thought
He's a hack.
pretty reasonable. Watch his stuff.
It's like Mr. B. He sounds reasonable, but reality is a hack. So.
He's not a leftist. He's a conservative. He like
Conservative.
Yeah. Funny. Anyways,
well,
K-Cup.
I know. It's whatever. It's he was like he voted. He didn't vote in the presidential, but he voted for Bernie Moreno in the Senate race. He's got an interesting voting record.
All right. K-Cup.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of him voting for Bernie Moreno.
K-Cup for 5. Teaching colors in Iraq. I am not gonna read that one. Thanks to super chats. But all right, everyone. I think that's kind of it. We've talked about everything. I don't think we missed anything. Surely. All right.
Correct.
All right. So I think that's it, everybody. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share it with your friends, and of course, join the channel today.
Wait, did I talk about the YouGov poll? I forgot about that.
It's not really worth it. I don't think.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about that, assuming more polls come out tomorrow or Friday. So.
All right. How do you vote for Bernie Moreno but not Trump? Yeah, that's a real question.
John Bolton. That was John Bolton too.
What a freaking
John
loser.
Bolton. Yeah. I
All
guess that's what neocons do because John Bolton endorsed Bernie Moreno for some reason because he was tough on China or something. But he couldn't vote for Trump, I guess.
Crick mode for 5. Mr. President, a second Big Bird has hit the tower. Oh gosh.
Big Bird.
All right.
You guys remember when Big Bird told kids to get the vaccine on the
Sesame
Street?
Remember that. All right, the poll showed 12% of Kamala voters approve of Trump, which is funny. Yeah, I saw that. But all right, we shall see you guys in the next stream video, wherever you see us at. We'll be back probably tomorrow. Godspeed to all of you.